What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into one of the most solid, most reliable, and honestly most underrated openings in all of chess, the London system. Now, if you've been following chess at all, you already know the London is what the best players in the world use when they want a clean, strategic game without theory traps or sharp gambit lines. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build it, move by move, step by step, with zero gambits, just pure, clean chess. By the end of this video, you are going to understand not just the moves, but why each move is played. That's what separates good players from great ones. Let's get into it. The game begins. White plays d4. Black responds with d5, mirroring the center. This is the most natural reply. Black wants a share of the center too. Totally fair. Now, here's where things get interesting. This is the defining move of the London system. White plays bishop f4. This is the London move. The moment you see bishop f4, you know what you're dealing with. And there's a very specific reason we develop this bishop now, the 4 playing e3. See, if we played e3 first, the bishop would be locked behind our own pawns. We'd never get it developed to f4. So the London system is all about getting this bishop out early to this beautiful active square on f4, where it targets the queen side and puts pressure on the center. Black plays knight f6. Very natural, developing the knight, pointing it toward the center. Nothing wrong here for black. This is just solid chess. White plays e3. Now we close the pawn chain. The bishop is already safe outside on f4, so we can confidently push e3 without trapping it. This is the heart of the London structure, the d4, e3, and bishop f4 triangle. These three elements together create what chess coaches call a London triangle, and it is absolutely bulletproof. Black responds with e6, reinforcing the d5 pawn and preparing to develop the dark-squared bishop. Black is playing very correctly here. This is a completely solid response. White plays knight f3. Another natural developing move. The knight goes to its best square, pointing toward the center, supporting d4 and preparing the kingside structure. Everything is flowing harmoniously for white. Black plays bishop e7, putting the bishop on e7, tucked in safely, preparing to castle. This is a really common and reliable setup for black. Now, white plays bishop d3. Take a look at this bishop. It's aimed directly at the h7 square, which is where the black king will be sitting once black castles. This is a long-term threat. It's not immediate, but it's always there, lurking in the background. Whenever white gets a chance to open up the position with something like e4 or maybe a knight sacrifice on g5 down the line, that Bd3 becomes incredibly dangerous. This is what makes the London so powerful. You build these tiny threats that compound over time. Black castles kingside, getting the king to safety. Smart move. But now the king is on g8, and that bishop d3 is staring right at h7. White is already applying invisible pressure. White plays knight bd2. Now this is a really important move, and a lot of beginners make a mistake here. They play knight c3 instead, and that's actually worse. Why? Because if we play knight c3, we block the c-pawn. But by going to d2, we keep the c3 square free for the pawn, which we're going to play in just a moment to reinforce d4. Knight bd2 is flexible. The knight on d2 can go to f1, then to g3 or e3, or it can swing toward e5 if needed. It's a multi-purpose piece. Black plays c5, striking at the center. This is Black's most ambitious response. They're trying to break down the d4 pawn and open the position. This is the critical test of the London system. White plays c3. Calm, solid, unshakable. White simply reinforces the center. The d4 pawn is not going anywhere. This is the beauty of the London. You don't need to create complications or sacrifice material. You just keep building, keep reinforcing, keep improving your position. Notice there are no gambits here. We are not giving up a pawn to get a quick attack. We are playing chess. Long-term, strategic chess that works at every level, from beginner all the way up to grandmaster. Black develops knight c6, bringing another piece into the game, putting pressure on d4. Black is trying everything to challenge White's center, but the London structure just absorbs the pressure. White castles, and there it is. White castles. The king is safe. All the pieces are developed. The structure is solid. The bishop on d3 is pointing at h7. The knight on f3 guards the center. The pawns on d4, e3, and c3 form an unbreakable wall. Look at this position. White has a completely solid pawn structure with zero weaknesses. An active bishop on f4 applying pressure, a dangerous bishop on d3 eyeing the kingside. Both knights centralized and ready. The king safely castled. Black plays b6, preparing to bring the dark-squared bishop to b7, trying to target White's d4 to e3 chain. It's a reasonable plan. But White is already fully developed and ready for battle. So let me break down the London system philosophy for you, because this is what you need to understand if you want to use this successfully. The London is not a passive opening. A lot of people look at it and say, oh, it's just defensive. No. No. The London is strategically aggressive. You're building threats that Black has to constantly worry about. The three main ideas are, first, the bishop f4 development. Get that bishop out early. It's your most important piece in this system. Second, the d4, e3, c3 pawn triangle. This is your foundation. Unbreakable. You will almost never be worse in the center when you have this structure. Third, the bishop d3 pointing at h7. Once Black castles kingside, that bishop is your long-term weapon. Look for ways to open lines toward the Black king. The London works because it's consistent. Every single game, you play the same setup. You don't need to memorize 15 moves of theory. You just understand the ideas and you apply them. That's the London system, move by move with full analysis. If this video helped you understand the opening better, drop a like right now. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more opening breakdowns like this, subscribe and hit the bell, because we are just getting started. Comment below, are you a London system player, or are you just learning it for the first time? I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one. Keep studying, keep improving. As always, good luck on the board.